fire. Plenty. Boy, tonight looks like a night to tell the story of Yonald Bump. Yeah, Yonald Bump.
They say that Yonald Bump never wanted to be one of the richest in the world. It has also been told that Mr. Bump was born with the leadership skills similar to those of the founding father of the United States of America. In the streets of New York City, Yonald's name is everywhere, on the corners, in the alleys, and on the tallest skyscrapers, and on the nicest hotels. Mr. Bump made a name for himself and worked his way up the business beanstalk till he became the giant at the top. Although to some it may seem like Yonald could have anything he wanted, he didn't. Yonald always wanted to learn how to dance. He could dance as well as a turtle could run fast. Old Bump's money couldn't buy everything his heart desired. The first thing he tried was dancing lessons. Yonald was in for a rude awakening. Yonald Bump was simply not a dancer. He tried and tried to match the rhythm of the instructor, and he couldn't do it. Yonald offered more and more money to the instructor to try to help his clumsiness, but it did not do him a bit of good. Yonald cursed and he cussed the dance gods for not giving him the talent of dancing. Frustrated and fed up, Yonald did something he never thought he would do. Yonald went to his knees and cried out, "If I could only learn how to dance with the flowing rhythm of the wind, I would sell my soul to the devil." After the words flew from his mouth, Yonald knew he had made a mistake. The room's air turned hazy, and the lights flickered as the floor began to shake to the point of destruction. The walls hissed as the evil one appeared. Some people say that the deepest, darkest depth of the New York City, they could hear the laugh of the evil one himself, and those who saw him froze right there where they were standing. Yonald felt his knees begin to shake and his stomach started to churn in a way it had never churned before. The evil one laughed and asked Yonald if he meant what he said. Yonald thought long and hard, and finally he would stick to what he wished for. The evil one insisted that Yonald call him something else other than the evil one, so they decided on Marty. Simply enough, Yonald knew that it was much more complicated than simply agreeing verbally, so he asked, "Don't we have to have some kind of contract or something, so that I know you are honest with the words you speak to me?" Marty turned around with a sheepish grin and snickered. "I would like to show you what you are getting into first. Follow me." Scared as a puppy, Yonald followed Marty through the entrance of the building and down the dark alley of 5th Street. Yonald Bump could see that the alley came to an end, and at the end was a small door. Marty led Yonald through the door and into a dimly lit room where they could see humans in dancing outfits. The strange thing about the humans was that they were not doing anything. Marty explained that people were those who sold their souls to the devil for the ability to dance like the best. Second-guessing himself, Yonald thought to himself, "Is it really worth it?" Yonald looked over at Marty, who was admiring the unactive humans, and boldly reprised, "It is worth it." At Marty's recognitions of the words, he snapped his fingers, and a baby calf fell through the ceiling of the room. Yonald stood in awe of the dead calf laying on the floor and said, "Why?" Marty quickly explained that the blood that was shed from the calf would be used to sign the contract between Marty and himself. Yonald brushed off the fact that he saw a calf fall from the ceiling and simply dipped his little finger into the pool of blood that lay stagnant on the floor. As Yonald drew his finger up to his face, the thought that he didn't have to sign the contract went through his head. Disregarding the sensible option of not signing the contract, Yonald read through the terms and conditions column on the paper. The contract stated that on the 6th second of the 6th minute of the 6th day of the 6th month of the 7th year, Marty would approach him and take his soul. Without pondering the thought of not signing the contract, and having read through the terms and conditions column, Yonald signed the contract. After signing the contract, a small circle was burned into his back to remind him of the contract. Marty snatched the contract from Bump's hands and disappeared into the thin air, leaving only a simple cloud of smoke. Later that night, Yonald returned to his home where his beautiful wife Martha lived with him. Martha loved Yonald very dearly and always comforted him in his time of need. Dinner time rolled around and the two sat down to eat the lovely meal that Martha prepared for them. As the two bowed their heads to say the blessing, Yonald yelled, "Hold on, I have something to tell you, Martha!" After the great explanation about the dreams that he had always had for becoming a great dancer, Yonald broke the news of the deal he struck with the evil one. Stunned and confused, Martha simply took him into her arms and comforted the distraught Yonald Bump by petting his head and rubbing his back. Martha noticed the slight indentation on his back, but simply went on with the comforting routine. Year after year went by in the life of Yonald. Yonald was featured on many television shows because of his incredible ability to dance with extremely good rhythm. Old Bumpin', he even created his own television show called I Can Dance. As time went on, the dancing never got old, and the desire only grew stronger. One day, Yonald was about to go into the scene of I Can Dance, when all of a sudden, the air in the room turned hazy, the lights flickered, and the floor shook to the point of destruction. Yonald Bump could only think one thing: Marty. At the mere thought of Marty coming back and taking his soul with him, Yonald cringed. Eek! Some say that on this very day the stock market hit its all-time lows. The clouds had covered up the sun, and all was still. Marty said, "The time was come that I take your soul for my keeping." Yonald didn't know what to do, so he frantically started to dance. Yonald danced and danced as best he could. It was even said that he danced the night away. Yonald eventually ran out of steam and fell to his knees, where he cried, "Please don't take my soul. I have too much to live for here on earth. If you took my soul, Martha's heart would be broken." Marty felt no sympathy for Yonald, and on that note,